KaiserBrad, while somewhat famous and infamous, he pretty much has no real archives about him, or anyone talking about him. Just some memes here and there. But that begs the question, who is KaiserBrad? Well, here's a list of things we will be talking about, although we will get there in time. There used to be a lot documented and talked about him, but issues came from the people who did and pulled all their stuff down. Even podcasts they were a part of are nowhere to be found. Admittingly, the podcast was struck because of hate speech violations, but became a refusal to put it back up on different websites for specific reasons I'm not mentioning here, because this is a focus on KaiserBrad rather than other people. Going into this, I'm pretty familiar with KaiserBrad, but there are a lot of things I do not know or have a very vague knowledge of. For points that I know, I'll put a green circle. For stuff I somewhat knew about, I'll put a yellow, and I might add some text of what I did and what I didn't know. For stuff I didn't know pretty much anything about, I'll put a red circle. I somewhat know a bit of KaiserBrad, and you know him because you kind of made him popular and whatnot. I'm going to just say what I think. I thought, in the sense of what I know-ish, was something along the lines of he was like 5-ish followers on Twitter when you found him, and he was just tweeting Brad Penis Hard just to himself, and like occasionally get some kind of like 1 or 2 likes or whatnot. And that's pretty much his whole existence on Twitter until you found him. You want to explain how you found him, why you found him, and why you did all the why not you did it, but why you chose him to be kind of like this, what you call an experiment, and explain what the experiment was.
All right. Well, I guess to start off with is I met Brad around the same time I started Twitter, around 2018. It was around maybe August, I would say. Like, he was one of the first people I met. Him, me, and a bunch of other people, we all hung out in this Twitter group chat called Anime Supremacists, and we basically got to know each other really well during the course of that group chat's existence, because it no longer exists because all of us have suspended.
Yeah. I mean, I've had my eye on like this entire group for quite a while, and been watching and whatnot. And I gotta say, this group is thoroughly entertaining, but it's hard to keep track because everyone gets suspended every 3 days.
That's the hardest part, especially with like me. You know, like I'd go anywhere, you know, from 2 weeks to 3 days to 1 hour. But back during those days, it was a lot of downtime between me, Brad, and a lot of the other group chat members, and we would just get to know, like I said, get to know each other a lot. You were basically right with your description of him, except like he had about 130 followers, I would say, before I really made him blow up or anything. And
then I guess the follower. Oh, then you must have been likes. I was thinking like 5.
Yeah, the likes were exactly right though. That's what I was about to say. Right. Like, yeah,
the likes were that much. Not
basically everything else you were saying was pretty accurate. He would go out, you know, whatever you wanted to do. He would quote retweet something, whether it was actual pornography or it was some tame photo or it was a tragedy, gore, whatever it was. Brad Penis Hard. Ah.
Oh, man.
And I guess you could say the reason why I chose Brad is because I did kind of share a personal relationship with, because I knew him, but I also just thought it was really entertaining. Because like,
wait. Explain what you mean by personal relationship so no one gets a wrong idea.
So more or less, the only reason that Brad kept coming back to Twitter was because I gave him Twitter accounts. So in a way, I was kind of his internet father. I didn't control all his actions because, like, I'll tell you later on during it. But I'm mainly the reason why he was able to still be on the internet. So I did feel a little bit of responsibility and to what's going on with him. But I also just thought he was just really funny because, like, anybody can go out there and say I'm horny or whatever, but not every single person goes out there and screams Brad Penis Hard over anything, you know? And I just thought that would be hilarious.
And when you say anything, it's literally anything.
Anything.
You could find a picture of a rock and still say it.
Yeah, or like he would find people's cutting photos and he would say it. You know, like it would piss the entire timeline off. Like Twitter doesn't even know, but back in the day, people would retweet Brad and it would fuck up your entire timeline.
Yeah, I mean there was that bot that quote tweets anyone that makes the Brad Penis Hard joke,
Yeah,
and this was like, wasn't it like after he's like left that bot was made, or during?
No. It was made during the height of the saga. Me and this
and
Twitter
it has
user,
like a couple of thousand quotes and everything.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, me and this Twitter user, IMH. It's like the cut thing from Pokemon. It's like IMHO1 or something like that. Me and him. Yeah, well, he has IM attached to it, like, but like, anyways, me and that guy, we both created the bot or whatever. Like, we ended up having to make two of them because the first bot broke. So like, there's like a meme or whatever attached to it, and it says like, "What is my purpose?" or whatever from like Rick and Morty, and it's like, your purpose is to quote retweet Brad Penis Hard. Oh my god. But that one broke, so we had to like he made a better system for it, so the second one still works. It misses a couple every now and then, but the bot still works.
Yeah, it definitely works because that's how I found the bot. is me making a joke about it one time, and then it quote tweeted me, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
And then the best part about it is, like, going through it, you can see like everyone who is part of that community, because it quote tweets it in the best way. It doesn't just do the quote; it copies the link of what it is. So if they change their @ and whatnot, it'll still stay that of what it was. So you can actually see what their old usernames were, and if they got suspended, you'll see the old usernames.
You can see a lot of my suspended accounts throughout the quote retweets of that.
Yeah.
Did I answer all your question though with what I've said? Is there anything else I didn't clarify?
I guess that's just a little bit of going into it. We're going to get more into this iceberg meme now.
Now we've done a little editing to it.
Yeah, we're not really gonna. I guess we could show a bit of the edited one, but yeah. So the Brad Penis Hard, you kind of explained that a bit, and whatnot.
It's pretty self-explanatory. He would go out there, he would quote retweet, like I said, any post. Brad Penis Hard. Didn't matter what it was. Like I said, actual porn, gore,
you name it.
You know, tame posts that you would think like just a tame friendship post or whatever. He's like, Brad Penis Hard, Brad Penis Hard.
It's like, let's be friends, Brad Penis Hard.
Your good morning post, Brad Penis Hard.
Oh man. All right. So, how about some of the other stuff? The Tomoko Avi. We're starting with all the very light stuff, and then we'll start getting more into the darker territory.
Easing you into the gimp suit.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Tomoko Avi, it's pretty self-explanatory. He really identified with Tomoko from the anime Watamore. He just really saw a lot of himself in there with, like, the social awkwardness and not having friends or whatever. Although, the funny thing about that is, he used to tell us before we saw his face docs that he looked just like Tomoko. And it's just like, after seeing what Brad looks like, he does not look anything like Tomoko whatsoever. So, like, it kind of made me think that maybe he had, like, some kind of body image dysmorphia or something, because he would tell us, and, like, he would swear that that's what he looked like. But then when we actually saw him, it's like, Brad, what?
I mean, your description of him was just marked on, because from your description, I kind of gave my own. It was like, I think he's this. I was right about everything except the skin color.
Right.
But the description you gave, I'll just let you say it.
Yeah, he's not a Chad, he's a Brad. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. So he literally just imagine the most generic Brad you can in your head. That's what he looks like, because I'm not going to show him.
Yeah, you can look it up if you want. I'm sure people on Twitter could go and post it or whatever, because it's been out there a lot, but we're gonna be nice to Brad in this video. As nice as we can be.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, DF The Daily Girlfriend Report.
Okay, so this is kind of like an earlier version of Brad Penis Hard or whatever. He did this up until the point when he got laid, which is a point we'll get into later. But it's pretty simple. He would just go in every single day and he would do daily GF report, and he would like type in some kind of one-liner or whatever. Or sometimes it would just be a simple thing, say daily GF report, no GF, next report tomorrow. Sometimes he would throw in a joke, but like most of the times it was just pretty consistent. No girlfriend.
The weird thing is I don't remember ever seeing the daily GF report, and I think I'd probably just got on the Brad train a little too late.
They were before I started memeing him. Like, he did them a lot more infrequently around that time. When he was first starting on Twitter, he did a lot more. Like I said, when he got laid, I don't think that was a priority for him anymore. So I can't be
incel. I can only be a fake cell now.
For real, fake cell Brad.
Oh man, if this guy got laid, I guess there's hope for anyone listening for this.
Exactly. That's the takeaway anyone should take from this. If Brad can get laid, you can get laid.
There's a lot of things you could take away from this,
but we'll get to those.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the daily GF reports. It was pretty simple, pretty memey, but like it was also accurate. Like that's the thing with Brad. He's pretty genuine person. A lot of people thought that he was just playing it up for the meme. He was exactly as he was online as he was in real life. That's why he didn't have any friends.
I think some of the stuff.
No. The reason why I know that for sure is because back in the anime supremacist group chat, he would tell us about how he basically would do the stuff he would say in his Twitter posts. He would say at the lunchroom, and he got bullied a lot.
Yeah.
And his from what I've been told, basically in his personal life, and what I've seen from people who've been, because he had an Instagram once too, and people from his school had found that, and yeah, people weren't really his fan. So Brad is a genuine person. Like, maybe he is playing it up just a little bit, but like, yeah, I will say that
what I was saying,
I will say that he does practice what he preaches.
I'm just saying, there's like a few tweets I can think of from my head that is like, I don't know, maybe he's playing that up. It just doesn't sound correct. But yeah.
I'll say 95% of it, it's all true. All of it.
Yeah. I think the ones that are like obvious, that there's like,
there are some obvious jokes, but then like a lot of times he would just say stuff that was happening in his life. Like I remember, like, you wouldn't have seen these tweets because they've been banned or whatever. But back in his early days, like I said, he would talk about how he would get in trouble during lunch because he wouldn't shut his mouth.
Yeah.
He had no filter.
All right. Let's go into some of the more things. Now, these three topics all coincide together. The esoteric racism, the political tangents, and the philosophy posting. You want to tell me a bit about that?
Okay, so contrary to popular belief, but Brad was actually a very intelligent person. He just wasn't able to apply himself in school, or yeah, that's just basically it. He wasn't able to apply himself academically, but he was very well read. He's read Julius Evola, I know, and because there's photos of him with his face docs, with cat ears, with a photo of the Revolt against the modern world. So
the average right-wing guy.
Yeah, so like think about like the average right-wing like Nazi straw man that the left would do. That was Brad. Yeah. Literally Brad.
Like the actual, he was literally the straw man.
I bet you he read Siege, Oh. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying,
Brad's the straw man.
He's a Nazi straw man, literally. Like he's probably read Siege. He's everything. Everything you think of when you think of a Nazi straw man, that was Brad at the time.
It's just so weird to think about that.
I know it is, because like you juxtapose that versus his post, but like that's why a lot of people still followed him or whatever, because like every now and then in between the Brad Penis Hard and the daily GF reports back in the day, you would see these long-winded rants or whatever, which is why it's called esoteric racism, philosophy posting, and political segments, because he would just basically he would write these great essays, basically, political essays, or like I said, esoteric or philosophical essays, and it's just like, and then it's juxtaposed by him saying like, well, then I'm probably just gonna go jerk off to some bestiality or some abortion hentai after this.
God.
Yeah, I know. It's just like he's such an incredibly smart person, but like you can tell that like there's a lot of nihilism going on there.
Nihilism,
nihilism, whichever you want to do.
Yeah. All right. So about the pedophilic tweets.
Oh, definitely. So one of the things Brad liked to do was tweet about how he wanted to have sex with underage girls. Now, a lot of things that people didn't know was that Brad was 14, 15, and 16 at the times he was making all these tweets, but he wouldn't tell people that because he liked to see people spurg out about how he was saying he wanted to have sex with underage girls.
It's like, wait, you want a kid? Like, I think the funniest clapback that I heard people, but it wasn't Brad because he didn't want to wreck the illusion. But when people was like, why don't you do it with adult women? It's like they would clap back. You want an underage child to go an adult? It was probably the funniest fucking clapback I've ever seen.
That would be, but like again, like he liked to keep up the illusion that people were just like. Oh,
it was other people that had to do that clapback because he refused to do it. He would have had the funniest fucking clapbacks. It would be, but that's why I said he's genuine. He kept to what he did. He didn't want to break he didn't want to break the show. Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, so yeah, that's why you'll see a lot of things that people calling him a pedophile because true, he did get into some nasty kind of stuff like that when he was on Twitter. There was some grooming games involved, as we'll talk about a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the next part would be the anti-Semitic remarks.
Yeah.
The banger posting.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times the reason why Kaiser would get suspended was because he would,
talk about the JQ.
The JQ with, not so sensitive language as we're doing right now. dropping K slurs.
Oh, man.
He was definitely not an ally to Israel. Let's just say that.
I think he might have disagreed about our strongest allies.
Yes,
he might have some disagreement.
Just a little bit. Like he has a little bit of a foundational disagreement with.
Foundational disagreement. Oh my gosh. Oh man, but he hated like all religion, not.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, he was. I would say arguing that he because sometimes he would delve into paganism sometimes, but arguably he was mostly an atheist, sometimes an agnostic, but like mostly atheist.
Yeah, he's actually the one kind of what's it called? So a common thing with atheists is that they only ever criticize the Christian Bible. They never criticize anything else. But Kaiser was there literally talking shit about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything that you could think of, like if it came up. He's not like, what's it called? It's not like he'd go out of his way to do it. It's just if it came up naturally.
Yeah, exactly. He would. There's a lot of posts of him talking about Muslims, a lot of posts of him talking about Catholics, a lot of posts talking about Jews, about Buddhists or whatever. He was not a fan of any of them, really.
Yeah, and then we see which ones people focused on.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like you got to think about it, like. Because of who I was, or whatever, I was tangentially associated with a lot of the right-wing anime and Catholic Twitter or whatever, so by promoting Brad, I basically shoved, this atheist Coomer Nazi into all their faces, and, like, that caused a lot of problems, which was the point of it. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to answer to your thing earlier, the great experiment. The main thing was to see whether or not I could turn Brad into a meme. So I forced it, and then my friends thought it was funny, so they decided that they would go and force it too. So that's how the Brad penis hard memes started getting posted everywhere, and like why Twitter suddenly exploded all of a sudden after a couple of days with Brad penis hard memes or whatever, because I decided that, like, we'll force this or whatever, because I wanted people to go and see the memes, follow Brad, and then see what he posts and be disgusted.
Yeah, I mean, to give a little bit of background to who you are, I would say you would get suspended, make an account that day, and already have like 1,000 to 2,000 followers.
The golden age.
Yeah, in the golden age, at that time.
Yeah, now I'm a has-been. I'm washed up.
Yeah. Now it is.
It's so over. I moved over to YouTube.
you can't even get your 100 followers.
I can't even stay yeah, I can't, you know, like, I think it's a mix of a lot of the people not coming back and a mix of people just not knowing who I am anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to even recognize your accounts.
I know, right? I have to go and bother people half the time and say, follow back, it's me, Trill.
Yeah.
And then I ban almost immediately afterwards, so I'm just like, I'm pretty sure it's a pain for these people.
Yeah. Alright, so...
But yeah, that was just a little aside, because I remember that I never really answered that part of your question earlier.
Yeah, and we needed to at least lay a little bit of groundwork of who you are so people understand why you matter in the situation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm basically the secret one of the secret puppet masters behind Brad, you know?
Because so it was like you had a giant cult following at the time. Whether it was lovers or haters, you had both. Because at the time you could get a tweet like that just like really popular, or you can make a tweet and then within an hour it has like 1,000 quote tweets, just people hating on you, and then you just clap back and whatnot. You were like super loved by the people that loved you, and super hated by the people that hated. So you could easily bring attention to anything you wanted.
You either got it or you didn't, you know, and that's how I've actually lived my entire life. So, you know, but that's how Brad ended up getting so popular. Because like otherwise, like you said, he would have just kept posting to maybe, you know, 130 people, getting a couple of likes, you know, because who's going out of their way to follow this random Tomoko Avi that has been. By the way, another thing about the Tomoko Avi, he has a custom one, or whatever. It was made by my friend, Ranger Delta, the guy who made Anime Supremacists, the group chat. He's drawn a couple of art for me and him before, but that's the artist, the creator of KaiserBrad's profile picture. He's always used it. That's one of the main consistent things of how you could always find Brad. You always had the same profile picture.
Yep.
Although one time he put a mustache on it. That was pretty funny.
It was like, I need to make it look more like me.
It's just like, it was like not KaiserBrad.
Oh yeah, the not Kaiser.
Yeah, there was a couple of not Kaiser moments. And I think I also edited like, because back when I was on Twitter, really famous, I used to be famous for putting this Rising of the Shield hero Raphtalia with a Skull Mask Avi, and I would put Skull Mask Avis on other people, and I had one for Brad that I made him.
Yeah, the Skull Mask is pretty nice and whatnot. We pretty much covered the stuff I already knew, nothing too major, and as far as his religious stuff goes, it's mostly just people trying to bring attention to one specific religion depending on the narrative that they're trying to spin. If they wanted to say he hated XYZ group, they would just bring up those things. But in reality, he hates them all. He, as far as I know, hated people centralizing themselves around the concept of religion, as he found religion itself stupid, and would constantly make fun of them. But don't get it wrong, he did indeed hate these people. From this point onward, I only knew about 1/3 of these. So some of this is actually new information that I never heard of before my talk with them before this interview started. So let's continue. Alright, so we got in pretty much all territory I mostly know.
Yeah, we got to the top of the iceberg. Now we're about to delve in.
Some of the next ones I somewhat know. So we're going to get into them more. So about these incestuous fantasies,
Okay, yeah.
I guess.
That would also cross into the tangent, I suppose, of extreme sexual fetishism, and like that was the thing about Brad. He's deep in the Coomer mindset, you know. Like think about the most lost Coomer you know. That's just there's like they don't even feel, you know, like I'm just Cooming just so I could feel something, you know.
Yeah,
That was Brad at that point, you know.
Yeah, he the more taboo, the better it was.
Because he needed more and more to go and hit it. So that's why he ended up getting into a lot of the darker things that he did, because he just needed more. Because he was it was when your dopamine gets blown out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically what Brad was at that time. You know, like I don't, dude. That kid's dick probably was destroyed, man, battered.
Yeah, he saw DDD for Destroy December,
and he decided to apply that. Yeah, to apply that to his entire life.
He thought the D said decade. Oh man, that was his personality in a nutshell for a little bit, and it's somewhat consistent throughout. But yeah, that stuff is pretty bad. It destroys you.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
So, but back to relating to his the incest thing. So he had a couple of sisters. One of them was mentally handicapped. The other one is kind of a libtard that transitioned into a boy. Although I don't know if she's on HRT or anything. I just know that she, publicly saying that she's a boy or whatever.
Okay. So you say libtard here, and I was hearing commie before. Like, is it like actual commie?
I think she is a bit of a communist too. I just say libtard as a general catch-all. But like from the sounds of it, it's like
we just want to get it straight because of like this family is all politically everywhere.
Yeah, the family is politically everywhere. It's like I don't know about the mentally handicapped ones' political opinions. If
they were saved because they couldn't get on the online.
Yeah, they're the only one that couldn't get online. But. Yeah, so relating to that, Brad would talk a lot in his tweets about how he wanted to have sex with them.
Both of them?
He said that he would prefer not to have sex with the retarded one.
Okay. Because I was like, wait, I knew about the other one, but...
Yeah. Yeah, so his sister, of course, rejected him, and a lot of the memes between us back during the anime supremacist group chat was the arguments he would be having between him and his sister, and like his sister, which is how he ended up also getting laid, because one of his sister's friends, she would bring her friends over a lot, and Brad would be racist, or he would be, spouting off some esoteric thing at them, and they would tell him to fuck off or get hella mad at him. Which I guess we can transition this one over to the having sex with the 12-year-old.
Yeah, we'll skip a bit. We'll come back.
Yeah, we can come back. So, like I was saying, he had a lot of interactions with his sister's friends. I think mainly because, like I was saying before, he didn't have friends of his own, so outside of Twitter with all of his internet friends. So like I think he talked to a lot of his sister's friends because she brought them over and they were forced.
The only human interaction,
right? Outside from online. Like online in school, yeah. So like you got to think about that. Like they're a captive audience mostly, And unfortunately, that led to, a horrible romance between him and one of his sister's friends.
Remember, he was 14 at the time.
Yeah, so it's not great, but, at the same time, it's not like it's the worst thing in the world either, It's not like it's an adult with a child, but, like, it's still just, like, it's not something I would want my 12-year-old doing, especially with Brad.
I mean, it's not what you want any kid under 18 doing.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's verifiable by everybody in the group chat, too, because she would steal his phone occasionally, and she would post her face or whatever, and not to be too mean, but she was very big and bald.
Oh, wow.
Like, she wasn't, like, huge obese, but, like, she was definitely not a skinny girl. And it would be constantly us telling her to give the phone back to Brad because she was an autistic 12-year-old, So like, imagine a 12-year-old girl inside of a group chat full of racist, anywhere from 15 to 20 something year olds,
Yeah.
Not ending well for her. But
all right.
that then goes back to the extreme sexual fetishism. It's like normal people wouldn't necessarily be putting themselves into positions like this, or like lusting after their sister, or being into bestiality, abortion hentai, or whatever, or Italian. I was about to get into that. We could do a sec.
I just can't.
Guro, like gore of that, real life gore, and the anime kind.
Yeah,
he was into some sick shit.
Like sometimes some of the stuff he would put on my timeline, I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly.
Block this person, and then I was like, "Oh, it's Brad."
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, "I'm gonna have to mute Brad for the next 2-3 days until this shit gets off of my timeline."
Yeah, Brad was.
Yeah,
Brad was one of the people that people would say that would go around be like, "I don't have a single block, I don't have a single mute, nothing but nothing." Brad was the one that changed so many people's minds on that. I think it was almost like 20 fucking people.
That was a popular post.
Yeah, he single-handedly broke so many people of their no block, no mute rules.
He was truly vicious with what he would post, and a lot of that also had to contribute with people sending him that. Like, a little known fact is that people would be sending him a lot of these photos that he would be posting, and because like he didn't always just quote retweet people. Sometimes he would also post his own photos with like a caption at Brad Penis Hard. And a lot of these photos were sent to him by other Twitter users who didn't want to post it on their own timeline, but they wanted Brad to post it so that he could cause chaos on the timeline. It's like they were using him to dirty laundry, basically. Like, they didn't want to be associated with the image, but they wanted the image out there and to like cause the problems. Like, they would be fine to retweet it, but like they didn't want to be the one that posted it. The layer of separation.
Yeah. So I guess we're still on the Coomer extreme fetishism. We're still on all.
Yeah, we kind of bounced around a little bit between that and the.
Oh no! Like, the next few things are still going to be on that, because this whole like section is the same thing, such as the Cum Bible.
Oh yeah, the Cum Bible. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, he was I wouldn't say coerced, because he was very willing to do it, but he was asked by people basically to go and cum in a Bible, and this kind of tangents into something further down in the iceberg, which is humiliation videos or whatever. Like, a lot of people were able to get Brad to film compromising videos, like him drinking his own piss, for example. And he posted it to Twitter on their behalf.
That's just so gross.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's just, So, like, on the one hand, like I said, it's semi-coerced, because, like, these people convinced him to doing it. But, like, on the other hand, like, only you can stop you from drinking your own piss.
Only you can save yourself from dumpster fires.
Exactly. It's like that's the one thing to remember from this. Is like, this is a lot of personal choice. Like, he chose to post these things. He chose to throw himself into these things.
So, gross.
Yeah, basically.
So,
we can jump back to the bestiality website, which is something I'm actually not super familiar with. I had to be filled into this by the guy who made the iceberg here. But basically, he and somebody else, he didn't make the website himself, but like, he promoted this website that his friend had, and it was a real life bestiality website. Like, I'm not sure about what the content fully is there, but I imagine it's animal fucking. So
I was about to say, it's like, what?
It's like, so Like I don't like I said, I can't tell you like what kind of videos there are, but like I could just give you a general idea that it's animal fucking and that Brad promoted it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there was any monetary benefit for him to doing it. I would imagine so, or maybe he just really liked to go and promote his friend's bestiality website.
I mean, just try to get people as disgusted as possible.
Yeah, Brad was very hard into being an edgelord.
Oh yeah. While some people like to be quote unquote edgy by singing the horse cock video, you know, Brad would just literally send horse cock.
Yeah, Brad would send literal horse cock. It probably would be like diced up or something, you know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be plain horse cock. It would be mutilated or something terrible.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's the KaiserBrad experience.
Yeah. Like he's the only person that had me like even when I used to not have a block thing.
You were just I considering it, throwing him on mute right now, but I'm seriously considering the block.
Yeah, I never blocked anyone before him. I don't think I actually blocked him. I've only just muted him.
I've had to throw him on mute for a while too, because like sometimes he would post blacked and it's the worst.
Oh my god.
Like I said,
it's not even like normal black. It's like the worst.
Yeah, it's not even normal black.
It's like this like mixture of scat.
It's the mixture of scat and like it's like it's a conjunction of things. He never just posts one type of pornography. It's a pornography that is like multifaceted. You know, it's like when he posts abortion hentai, like the baby is like dead and like they're eating its body out while they're fucking it. You know, it's like it's that gross. Yeah, exactly. You know, and I've seen some of this stuff. You know.
Yeah, you just put the image back in my head.
You probably know exactly the image I was talking about.
I think I do. I think I've seen it because of him.
But yeah, that's terrible, 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 terrible pornography and terrible gore and just all kinds of fucked up shit.
Oh man. Yeah.
I think we can start moving down in the iceberg now.
Yeah, so we'll still stay on the humiliation videos,
okay?
Because we're still a bit on it. Is there any other kind of humiliation videos?
I can't. Not that I can explicitly remember. I know that he definitely filmed like probably like tribute videos for because like there's yeah exactly. I know that he's been filmed doing other stuff too, but like they weren't necessarily as embarrassing. They were just him talking to people because like once he blew up, he actually started getting the EGFs.
Yeah, which we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm. Well, the EGFs and the quote unquote EGFs.
All right.
But yeah, other than that, I don't think that there's. I can't name you another explicit video that I can remember. Just like I just know that there is more than that, and that there was tribute ones, and that it's embarrassing. You know, like think like Chris Chan and how he was coerced by his girlfriends. Except, unlike Chris Chan, these girlfriends were more real for Brad. So,
yeah.
So. He was getting better than Chris, but at the same time he's still getting embarrassed like Chris, you know? So it was definitely a complicated relationship between him and the people that he was doing these videos for.
Alright, so now I somewhat know like the Italian cuisine incident but you adding like the incident part, I thought there was like more to it than the situation I knew, and it's like, oh okay, I somewhat know I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's hard for me to believe it, but you say you know KaiserBrad more, and you say you believe his explanation and whatnot. I'm just saying it's hard for me.
It is definitely hard to believe considering everything.
Yeah, but I'll let you explain the
Italian
cuisine incident.
Basically, the reason why it even got posted was because of me. I was doing it because he posted into our Discord, our group chat, the Kaiser, which we'll get to in a second, but the KaiserBrad Clubhouse, and it basically was relating the situation of why he was getting grounded and wouldn't be back on Twitter for a while. And I thought that he wanted me to post it to the timeline, but I didn't realize how bad it was, so. It caused a huge firestorm, and like it was the death knell of Brad's career, basically, and the beginning of the infamy of him being posted as like one of the famous pedophiles on Twitter, because like you can see that on Twitter now or whatever. Like his face docs will be posted with a few others or whatever, like Lucas from the Lucas's room or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like it's like. You know, the meme about them being famous was like, you wouldn't want to go into these people's rooms, you know, whatever they are. But
yeah.
I'm
actually surprised by the lack of documenting that there is for KaiserBrad.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that everyone knows like a lot of
it's kind of like it's like a myth, you know? It's like an unwritten myth, you know? Everybody knows about it, it's just not written down.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying though. So I posted these things, and the contents of them, like there's 4 different screen caps within it. Like the first one is talking about the Italian cuisine. The other one is talking about how his phone got taken away because him and a bunch of his friends posted their dicks in their Discord, and he saved them onto his phone. And his parents were just like, "What the fuck?" Now the Italian cuisine part is so. There's a few different stories. Some people allege that it's Guro. That's what Brad has told me. So I'm willing to believe Brad because, you know, maybe it was, you know, he told me that. And I'm, like I said, I'm willing to believe him because that's what he told me. And he usually doesn't lie to me. So we had a very good relationship at the time. So we would be able to be honest with each other and tell each other if we needed help or something. So I'm willing
to help like the very bottom.
Right, like the very bottom, which we will get to. But so like I believe him when he tells me that it was a code word for a type of guro, but a lot of people have alleged that it meant CP, you know, Italian cuisine, like cheese pizza. You know, but there's no actual photos of this other than Brad just saying that. So, like, you know, like all we have is just Brad's description of it. So, like, I'm willing to believe Brad. You can draw your own conclusions, of course. But yeah, I mean, that basically was the death knell of it, though. Like everybody was harassing him after that, and he never came back to Twitter after that. Really.
So can I ask you? Do you remember the explanation on why he considered Guro to be Italian cuisine? Because I somewhat remember. And it was something about pasta.
Yes.
And whatnot.
It was something about pasta, because that's why I said it was the type of the guro was. I think it was related to, like, you know, like how there's the spaghetti noodle meme that, like, for the hentai or whatever?
Yeah.
I think it was related to that, and, like, it was a type of spaghetti noodle hentai guro. But, like I said, like, you know, his official explanation has been lost. I don't remember it that well, and I just remember what was posted.
I remember the sauce was the blood, the pasta itself.
Yeah, you see, like you were saying, you know, like that's why I said it's a specific type of Italian girl. It's a really weird, like, but that's Brad.
The fact that it can be interpreted in, I think someone said a third one, but
yeah, there is a third. Yeah,
it.
I don't remember what the third one is. That's why I mentioned it though. Like there is a third explanation that has also been lost.
Yeah, but we do know
that there's like 3 people. There have been 3 explanations brought up over what it actually is. We only can remember the 2 because you got to remember we're in 2022 right now, so this happened all about 2020. This was the end of it.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's the Italian guro, the Italian cuisine incident, which, like I said, it's basically sparked the end of, well, at least his Twitter career. You know, like he more or less after that, he mainly stuck to Discord, and he was playing Hearts of Iron a lot before he disappeared.
Yeah, he deleted his Discord. I noticed because I used to have his Discord and he used to be friended, and then I looked one day and it's like, my DMs for him is gone. and he's not friended or anything like that. So I feel he deleted his Discord.
Yeah, he deleted everything. He also deleted his Steam too, because I can't find it. Which is like, damn, man, you bought games on that.
Yeah, he
vanished.
Like, he wanted to leave without a trace. He didn't want anything traced back to him anymore.
Yeah. We could talk about that aspect a little bit more later, but like it kind of it relates to one of his last relationships or whatever.
Yeah,
but
it makes sense why he doesn't want anything, all of this related back to him. It makes sense.
Yeah, especially now as he was a kid, and like now as an adult, he probably he may still have like a lot of the same beliefs that he does, but like he might be a lot more tactful, a little bit more common sense, restrained. Like realize like, maybe I shouldn't fuck my entire life up by saying this stuff and associating it with my identity.
I mean, for me, it's hard for me to justify having a child's life completely ruined for making stupid mistakes.
Exactly. Like a little side tangent. There was this guy named Leviathan Wave. He posted almost the exact type of stuff that Brad did, except like it wasn't like gore type or whatever, but like he would post about how he would cum on carrots and call it cum rots or whatever, and like talk about how he wanted to have sex with underage people or whatever because he was underage too. And that was a big part of that. There was a big community of underage people that were talking about how they wanted to have sex or whatever. And they explicitly worded it as like, I want to have underage sex or whatever. Because like they were doing it to troll people who would get upset about pedophiles.
Yeah.
And like, like say what you will, but like it was a bunch of kids saying it. So, it's just like
a bunch of kids just being edgy as shit.
Exactly,
If you know the full context, they're not even.
Yeah, really it's like knowing the full context is important because like otherwise, it's like, and that's the point of why they did it. They didn't want it to, like it's that I'm pretending to be retarded meme, but except like they're not saying haha I'm just joking because like they wouldn't say that. They wanted you to believe it.
I mean, okay, so I'm pretending to be a retarded meme. I think that gets misused.
I think it gets misused too, but I think it only applies for people that are like doing it and then like they back out of it. Like if people are doing it intentionally or whatever, and it's for the joke, like it doesn't make sense.
I think a lot of people also use that meme for people that are being sarcastic.
Well, it's like Wojaks and Soyjaks. It's just like you're the one that's mad. No, you're the one that's mad. They're both crying underneath.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So this e-dating traps and trams.
Okay, yeah. So KaiserBrad, he was a very accepting person. He didn't care if you were female or not. What mattered was that you said you were a female and that you were underage. The
underage part was important.
Yeah, that was the important part. Like, he wouldn't want to date people who were, older or whatever. He would frequently say, it's like, oh, too old. It's like, 16? Oh, too old. Or whatever. And, like, I think there's a few of them, the trannies and the traps that he's dated have said that he dumped them when he found out they were too old. So yeah, that was a huge meme. Yeah, but yeah, if you said you were a woman, you were underage, KaiserBrad would validate your gender identity. KaiserBrad's like, yeah, trans women are women if I come in them. The rest of the population, Brad, whoa. It was definitely one of the hotter takes that not everybody agreed with.
Yeah. Very progressive.
Yeah, very, very progressive. KaiserBrad, like, I heard someone commented on, before, I made a little post or whatever talking about Brad, but then I suspended, and, like, on one of the comments of it, it says, like, now that I think about it, Brad was kind of a libtard.
I mean, that would get into what, a lot of things that I consider pretty left wing, but for whatever reason classified in the right.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, well, it's like just the brief tangent, like that's why Ben Shapiro is a Nazi, even though he's nowhere near close to it. Like things that aren't right wing are prescribed as that because left wing means being a retard.
Sure.
I'm right, I'm true, I'm real, I'm valid.
the most right, so far right. Actually,
the most right. I'm not alternative right. I'm correct right. I'm the right.
the right. All right.
But,
all right.
And back to the trans and the trap things. That goes back to being a simp, or that leads into being a simp. We can transition to that. He was huge simp. You know, like not like nice guys where he's like quite begging, like, you know, like the nice guy Reddit kind of memes or whatever. But like, just think your average simp in like an e-girl's replies. That was him.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of that.
Yeah, you know, like just a crumb of your toe, please. I just want a crumb of your toe pics.
I mean, I jokingly hit on some of my Oomfies, but
yeah, I've done that before jokingly too. Like that, on archive.org, I found a few of my ones that I've had. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what the context of this was. But like, I was flirting with some random person, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it was for the meme. Yeah, you know. But for him, no, it was to get some pussy or some trans pussy.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's like
he was on a mission.
Like, for us, it's a meme. Him is on a mission.
This is real shit. It was real serious for him. It wasn't jokes for him. It wasn't. There's no more jokes. It's like
it was do or die.
The Joker thing is like, I'm not joking. This is serious.
Yeah, it's do or die. The person dying is not him though.
There's no punchline here.
Oh man. Speaking of punchlines, I guess we can get into the next one, and that was Kaiser versus Kaiser.
All right, so this takes a little bit of context. So there's this guy called Kaiser. I call him Kaiser too, but he's now called like Natorin or something like that. He used to be this Catholic anime Avi, and I've had a VC with him. Honestly, I thought he was gay the first time I had a VC with him, but he was this obnoxious, like, he was about Brad's age. He was obnoxious, and he was always talking about getting drunk or whatever in the VC, and him and Brad had a huge rivalry on Twitter, because they were both named Kaiser or whatever, and Kaiser too was always just like, I'm tired of people associating Brad with me because they say Kaiser or whatever. And so they would often get into it on the timeline or whatever. Like I have one of the most famous videos of the clash between the two saved on one of my YouTube channels. I showed you that earlier. Maybe we'll show chat. You know.
Yeah, we'll just play it.
We'll just pop it right here.
Boom.
Like that. That's a small taste of what it was to be Kaiser versus Kaiser. It was a fun time, and a little tangent on that too is like there was another person called Bradley, Shadow Bradley or whatever. I called him Kaiser Penis Soft or whatever, or no, I called him Brad Penis Soft because his name was Brad too or whatever, and he would also get mistaken for KaiserBrad, and he would post about how he hated it. He's like, I hate the Brad Penis Hard meme, so I would call him Bradley Penis Soft just to make fun of him.
Oh, man.
But yeah, these two Kaisers or whatever, they both hated Brad. Oh, the one Kaiser and the other Brad. They both hated KaiserBrad. And the funny thing is now, the Kaiser 2, he's gone trans. He started playing Genshin Impact, and he got a trans girlfriend, and he's thinking of transitioning himself. So, you know, he could be KaiserBrad's girlfriend, you know.
Yeah.
KaiserBrad will validate you, Kaiser 2, but just know, KaiserBrad won.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Kaiser versus Kaiser. It was good times, man. Good times.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this weird description. Engineered a cyberbullying plot to out a semi-closeted Catholic trans girl.
All right, so there's this person named Casper /Lexi. So if if you don't know them, they're basically this. They used to be in this like nun orphanage or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. You know, like they were getting taken care of by nuns or at some point in time, but they had a lot of problems with their head, very mentally ill. So they would go between wanting to transition and wanting to not be a tranny. So me and a lot of my friends were very supportive of him wanting to detransition and not become a tranny, but secretly, while he was telling us all this stuff about how he didn't want to transition, he was dating a Satanist and having voice call sex with him in Discord while he was busy telling us, like, I don't want to be a trans anymore. And meanwhile, I was just like, oh yes, I'll be your girlfriend, ooh woo. Very, very, very annoying, very hypocritical. So eventually the two broke up, though. And this person happened to be associated with Brad. And I didn't realize it at the time, but he and Brad came up with this plan to go and post Casper's docs and out him as trans to everybody and is gay and having all of this V-sex with him and stuff while, you know, he's purportedly trying to be based and not trans. So he asked me, because during this time period, I had a lot of access to different 2011 Twitter accounts, so he asked me, and I gave him a couple of 2011 Twitter accounts, which he used to dox Casper and, you know, spread a bunch of stuff about him. And Casper, you know, he started getting upset about that, and he didn't realize at the time that I had given these accounts to the person, so he asked me for a 2011 account, and he put two and two together, and he realized that I had given these 2011 accounts to his ex-boyfriend, not knowing that's what was going on, and he blocked me out of our friend group chat, and it caused a lot of drama between all of everybody that night or whatever, because he was like, Trill's a fed. I know it's for real. He's been fucking with me. He's been two-timing it the entire time. He's the reason why I got doxxed. And I was just like, yes.
I do remember a lot of Trill is a fed meme.
Yes, that's how that meme started. Because he called me a fed.
I was like, huh. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't doubt that he's a fed, but at the same time,
I don't think
he's
so.
Really fun.
He's a fun fed. He's my favorite fed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how that started, because Casper thought I was gay-opping him with KaiserBrad, and I don't even remember what the guy's name is anymore. It's like Brapist or something. I don't know. It was a horrifying name. But yeah, I basically, I mean, I did, but like it was unintentionally. So once we cleared that up or whatever, we made up and became friends again until he, you know, trooned out fully.
All right.
I don't know. His story is like, not to dwell on it too long, but his story is very sad to me because like he keeps going back and forth between the two, and this is like I just can't support him anymore, you know? Because it's like, make up your mind, damn it. But yeah, that's the story of basically of engineered a cyberbullying plot to out a semi-closeted Catholic trans girl. True, real, valid.
Could have been one of Kaiser's future girlfriends. We are about to get into territories that I've actually never heard of before. The only one I knew is the podcast. Hearing this for the first time right before the interviews was pretty crazy. I don't really know who did what, and most of the people I knew from that time left Twitter. And if this is some of the information they had on each other, I can see why.
Now, down. I think we can go down a little bit farther now.
All right.
Let's talk
the next one.
Let's talk about the mythic one. The lost KaiserBrad Rapecast episode.
So, I've known about the Rapecast, and I loved the Rapecast. It was an amazing podcast. It was so crazy. Y'all kept getting freaking strikes for hate speech on YouTube. I don't know what the fuck y'all were thinking, posting it to fucking YouTube. Especially with just the name. I'm surprised the name itself didn't get the freaking podcast banned.
Seriously. The Rapecast.
I'm just like... Oh man!
I remember one episode we had to cut in half because me and the guest kept threatening a standing U.S. president who had just been elected at the time with packages to be sent. So a lot of memes and stuff, a lot of stuff we couldn't release.
Yeah.
But our most famous episode, I would argue, though, was the KaiserBrad episode.
Yes, that's actually the episode I saw the Rapecast was both. So I saw two at the same time, and that's how I actually got introduced to the Rapecast. It was the KaiserBrad one, and like I was like, oh gosh, this is like fucking hilarious. I can't believe it's on YouTube. And then the next day it gets off of YouTube.
Yeah, literally.
And then the other one was the Lemon K one. But yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the whole story of that is that a friend of mine named Cyber Ninja 666, or it might just be Cyber Ninja, depends on what he goes by sometimes. He got a friend of his in real life to go and text Brad and convinced her that she was an underage girl and that to go onto the Rapecast, because he wasn't going to do it before. He was like really hesitant about it. We had spent 2 weeks trying to coax Brad into it. So Cyber, of his own volition, went out and he asked his friends, like, please, we have to do this for the meme. I don't know what he promised her, but I know that she agreed to do it. And she did. She told Brad, it's like, it would be so cool if you went on the Rapecast or whatever. And then soon after, Brad was like, I'm ready to go on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great.
I didn't know about that backstory, but
I was saving that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really sad that we don't have a copy of it, because it was a genuine interview with Brad. He was a little bit nervous with it, but he spoke what he believed, and it was like
he did great.
Yeah, it was a slightly toned down version of Twitter, because like he can't drop all the gamer words he wants, but like, and he was, like I said, he was a little bit nervous, but we got him talking.
You see his, and
that's why it's such a shame to lose it. Yeah, his voice.
Yeah, his voice is.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit nerdy,
It's pretty unique.
Yeah, like
I would say.
Yeah, it's a voice I would, if I heard it again, I would know it's Brad, and I would be very happy to hear it. But like he did sound a little bit nerdy, but like.
It sounded a little like this.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. It's like a little bit higher pitched tone than that, but like that was a pretty good impression of it. Like he had a little bit of voice crack when he spoke, but
I haven't heard that voice in 2 years, and I still remember exactly how to do it.
It's iconic.
It was. It was too iconic.
Yeah. It was a good episode. It's a shame.
It felt like everything he said, he was smug as shit with all of it.
I bet you that he was smiling the entire time. I bet you he was wearing his cat ears, holding his picture of Julius Evola. Yeah, it was a good episode, and like I said, unfortunately, it's lost to time now. Like, all the episodes are lost to time now. That show does not exist. It never existed, actually, to be real. It's a myth.
Yeah, my episode was about to exist, but then didn't.
Yeah, an unfortunate almost guest. Just like Cyber was an almost guest, too. His episode got scrapped. Many such cases. But one last tidbit about it was we had an after show with it too. We didn't record that, but we brought in a bunch of people. We brought in the girl that Cyber had convinced Brad to join in. It was a fun time. Brad loosened up a lot more, and like it's a one of a lifetime experience. Just witnessing KaiserBrad in his natural form. It was like he took the voice from Twitter and spoke it into the Discord call at that point. It was really good. He was a fun guy. I miss hanging out with that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess the next thing we should talk about is the KaiserBrad Clubhouse, because that can also lead into the Femboy Groomer group chat.
Yep.
So
I actually don't know everything else that is talked about from here on. I actually did not know, except for some. One of them I thought I knew, but I thought it was something completely different. So what you're about to tell me is all I did not know until I just heard it a bit ago, and then we started the interview.
Dropping the deepest of lore.
Yep.
Alright, so the KaiserBrad Clubhouse. It was the group chat on Twitter that held people that were basically Brad's inner circle. So me, I can't remember everybody that was in it, but a lot of people from the Anime Supremacist group chat were in there too, because we shared a lot of the remaining members, at least, anyways. We shared a lot of the same blood. So
I somewhat know about the anime supremacist group chat, but I kept being kicked out.
yeah, it's probably because someone thought you. I think it might have been. I'm not sure who it was. But I think it might have been because they thought you were an LGBT. Because it's because of your bio or whatever. I think they assumed that you were gay. And they were just like, "Why is this literally in our group chat?"
All right.
But the KaiserBrad Clubhouse, like, it was more or less a new version of Anime Supremacist, just headed by Brad instead, and it was filled with a lot of people that I didn't necessarily know from before, that knew Brad and that were associated with Brad that I got to know. And little known fact, but something that Brad knew or whatever, was that I was at least 3 or 4 of the people in the group chat at different times. So what I like to do to prank Brad was I would make different alternate accounts, and then I would friend him, and I would talk to him on these different accounts, pretending I was a different person. And then I would go and gaslight the fuck out of him, because then I would tell him, it's like,
gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Because I would tell him, it's like, hey, Brad, just so you know, like, I'm not going to tell you which one they are, but I'm at least 2 or 3 different people in this group chat that are not under my name. And he's just like, I've always assumed that everybody is a Trill alt until I, like, see their face docs. And even then, I don't believe it, because I believe that's just you saving their photo. He was wholly convinced that I was, like, at least half of the group chat. Nothing gets by Trill. and in truth, I kind of did cyberstalk him a little bit, especially when I suspended and I couldn't get back on immediately. I would use those accounts to troll around and see what he's doing, but which leads into the next part. I couldn't get into everything that he was doing, and I wouldn't necessarily want to either, considering the things that I'm about to say next. So
okay, so let me say, you don't want to be in it, but you would have wanted to stop.
Yeah, exactly, because I would have liked to prevent what happened next.
Because here's where it starts taking a big...
This is big dark side. So a lot of people know that Brad was groomed intellectually, but a lot of people don't know is that they were also sexually grooming him. There's a secret group chat that I wasn't invited to, that I was kept out of. And I only found out because I found out after it ended, and from tangential information because of Brad, of what he told me about it. But it was a group chat filled with actual pedophiles and femboys and trannies that were all trying to compete with each other to groom Brad.
You said they were like trying to see who can get him to go the furthest.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like there was some dark people in there, and they wanted like I said, they were grooming Brad. They wanted him. Some parts wanted him to transition. Some of them wanted him to go further into bestiality. Brad told me that this was the only thing he was really scared of. You know, like these people. Because he's never told me that he's been scared of people before, but he told me that he was scared of these people once, you know, it all ended. Because of the things that they were showing him. And, like, considering all the stuff that Brad's done, if the things that they're showing him is scaring him, it was really, really bad.
It must... No, considering some of the stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, from Brad, you know, and like those things scare people.
I'm not talking just from Brad. I mean, I remember the Discord server when people were screen sharing, and it's like, I kind of have an idea of what they were probably showing. Probably something worse than what was being showed, you know, to everyone. Yeah,
but I imagine it's along the lines of like, you know, like murder, gore, animal pornography.
Okay, I don't know about maybe they showed him those last ones, but I do remember a lot of murder and a lot of gore was being shown inside.
Yeah, definitely gore.
On Discord.
Yeah, definitely gore. But like, I know that they, like I said, they got really hardcore, and it was too much for Brad.
I was like, this is not. It's not even really fun for me. Like, what the hell is all this? I'm watching. It's like, how are people like entertained by this?
Yeah, it's because you're a normal person.
Somewhat normal.
Well, more normal than someone who enjoys consuming that kind of media.
It's like I can understand the meme ones and how the meme ones were funny, but then they were laughing and enjoying, like, just there was no joke and no meme, just actual.
Yeah. When there's nothing else and it's just straight that, it's just like, oh. Because, like, Brad would present it as, with his joking format, like, Brad penis hard, Brad penis hard. So, like, there was that element to it. Like, with them, no, it's just, you're going to masturbate to this. And it's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the darkest aspects of the KaiserBrad saga.
Yeah.
Which, another darker aspect, which was a lot more in the earlier days, is that he's tangentially, which I guess me too, we were associated with an attempted school shooter. One of our members from Anime Supremacists, he ended up getting arrested by because his girlfriend sent in a police report because he had plans to shoot up the school, and like he had actual plans, and like I don't know if he had a manifesto or not, but I know that he had the plans of the school and he had the plans to commit a shooting. So he ended up going to jail for that, and I haven't heard from him since because like I don't know how long he's been in jail. I didn't know him that well. I knew he was a lot closer to the leader of the group chat, the guy who made Brad's Tomoko Avi, Delta. But, we all mourned his loss because he was one of us, But technically, me and Brad are both associated with someone who tried to shoot up a school.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of people from that group eventually got arrested by something, and which is why I'm saying, like, maybe there was some kind of Fed in the group. Because that's why I'm like, I think there is one. I'm not saying shit.
I know, I'm right here.
I know, I was like, because I was like, wait, okay, this person got arrested. This person here got arrested. This person over here got arrested. This person over here who lives in fucking Europe or not, like the one with the Taiga Burger King face, was like they got arrested.
Yeah, nuclear.
Yeah, that's a nuclear. Yeah. And then he also had the leave a legacy because he went down swinging and whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of people have gone away.
And so I was like, I feel uncomfortable in this chat. So you never saw me post anything crazy like that.
Yeah, different times, man. Different times.
It's like, yeah, there was like, what, 100+ people inside there?
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, you gotta think about how many different iterations of the group chats there are,
Yeah, and whatnot. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there was probably some kind of Fed trying to keep track. Because I still believe there was someone on the inside. That's how we all got our accounts suspended, that one purge. Because they knew who we were. And the moment we would post, like, inside the Discord, it's like, hey, we're making our new account, let's come follow, then that account would get suspended, and that was happening for weeks on end. So it was like, I think that's why I refused to say the new Twitter inside that chat, because I was pretty sure
that you would have got suspended again too.
And if you look, mine was probably the only one that didn't get suspended. And I didn't ever advertise between any of y'all and any of it. So I think it was someone on the inside. We just don't know who it was.
Yeah, probably. Like the group's gone. Anime Supremacist is gone. Nazi Lounge is gone. KaiserBrad's Clubhouse is gone. These groups don't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, they probably should stay that way.
Yeah. They probably should.
I had fun. With what happened, but everything has to end. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Yeah, I think there was quite a few people there that were pretty fun to hang out with and whatnot. But I can understand why some of them distanced each other. Mm-hmm. And when I know a few what their new accounts are and whatnot, but they just want to stay completely like. They want to bury that.
Yeah, they've disassociated. I know a few people like that too. That I still follow or whatever, and like we're still cool and we talk to each other, but like that's their past.
Yeah, I remember coming out of that. A lot of people, like, why the Tradcast feels so large is after all that incidents, a lot of them became like actually religious and like they didn't like that kind of humor, they didn't like that kind of stuff anymore. And, like they started actually going to the church and all that shit.
Which is a good thing, but it definitely killed my numbers.
But yeah, I mean, I'm happy for people that got out and.
Oh yeah, if you don't want to go and post, no one should force you to. Like, you shouldn't be forced to post and stay posting the same stuff over and over again if you don't want to. Like, I post the same.
I feel sad. I feel sad for the people that like post the exact same thing.
Yeah, they're stuck in their rut.
Yeah, you can change it up a bit, just like how even just going to like the K-On community changed it up enough and whatnot. But
I mean,
I think the people that like stayed in there, it's just like, oof.
I mean, even KaiserBrad gave variations to his gimmick post. Like sometimes he would do like a capital letter, then the lowercase letter, then a capital letter when he was doing Brad Penis Hard. Sometimes it was all caps Brad Penis Hard. Sometimes it was just lower. It became a meme. It's like, is this worthy of an all caps Brad Penis Hard? Is this just a punctual Brad Penis Hard? Is there? Do I need an ah with this? Should it be a capital ah? Like I'm screaming ah, or am I just like Brad Penis Hard ah?
Like people were trying to figure out what rating meant what.
Yeah, exactly. People were just like, is this better? Is this worse? Oh, he screamed on that one. Yeah. I'm sure he had a system, but like.
I still remember the one where it says Brad Penis Hard, and it just has a lot of exclamation points, and it just looks like he slammed the keyboard.
Right? Yeah. And then there's there's a bunch of like letters and numbers spam with it too. It's like Brad Penis Hard.
That's the one.
He just rushed that one out. He was just like, "Yep," instantly won him over.
Yeah.
I guess we should go down to the final one now, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we were speaking about earlier when I would say we were very close and Brad would ask me for help with things or whatever. So
I never knew about this part until yesterday.
So there's this account called taboo_bunny. They, from what I've been told by the person who made the iceberg, they're pretty sure they weren't an underage girl, that it was an op by people or whatever, from the sounds of it, from their interactions with them. But they told Brad they were an underage girl that were selling the photos of themselves or whatever, and Brad would get. They told Brad that if Brad promoted it and people bought, Brad would get a percentage of it. So Brad approached me and asked me to buy these alleged underage nudes from this girl, and so just so he could earn a profit from it. And I'm just like, Brad, no, you fucking idiot. I will do a lot of things for you. I will restore you to Twitter. I will help you figure out things that are wrong in Discord, or help you, maneuver your way out of situations.
Or help you.
But I will not buy for you. That's it, sorry, dude. There's nobody I would buy pornography for. That's the deal breaker.
That's where you draw the line for your friends.
That's where I draw the line. Deal breaker. No CP, bro. I'll help you with everything else, bro, but I won't help you buy CP. Or same goes same thing with animal sex pornography. Yeah, just this gross ass stuff that normal people don't buy and partake of. Don't ask me to do, Brad. Ever.
Ever.
I'll get you on Twitter all you want, man. That ain't a thing. I'll get you a phone number, all you need to go and verify it. I'll set you up an email, whatever you want, man. Do not ask me to buy. But yeah, so Brad,
I can only
it never went anywhere.
I can only imagine how he approached you. Do you remember how?
It was just like, "Hey, Trill," or it's like, "Yeah, what's up?" or whatever. It's just like, "Would you do me a favor?" I'm like, "What's up, buddy?" And he's just like, "So you see, there's this deal." And I'm just like, bro, I'm thinking about it, it's like, man, he wants me to go and sell my soul and get arrested potentially. For because I'm thinking about OnlyFans girls only sell themselves for a couple of McDoubles, so he wants me to sell my soul for the price of a couple of McDoubles. Some underage McDoubles is what he wants me to sell my soul for.
Oh,
I know, it's just Yeah, that's KaiserBrad for you, you know? Very wild person. I guess one last tangent to go off of is the finale. What happened to KaiserBrad?
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about when it came to what happened. We kind of alluded what was happening and whatnot inside the thing, but let's let you fully explain it.
So after the Italian Cuisine girl thing, he basically retired from Twitter and started sticking himself to Discord and playing Hearts of Iron, like I said. And one of the last relationships he had was with this e-girl named Camper or whatever. And sounded like between the two of them that his parents were pressuring him more and more to get rid of his internet presence. And one day he finally did. He deleted everything. He doesn't have contact with me. I think the only person he had contact with was Camper, but they fell out of contact because he just wasn't responding, and she moved on because, you know, can't wait forever. But that's the KaiserBrad story. He deleted everything, and an important tidbit to note is that according to Camper, he rehabilitated himself a lot. So that's probably a part of the reason why he's gone forever now. It's just like he's not the same person that he was when he was posting all of these things. He grew up as a person, you know, which I think is good too.
He got off of Twitter and he started immediately healing.
Right, you know, literally, all he had to do was remove this poison from his veins that I kept sticking into him. Like he's banging, and I kept sticking venom into him. He just wanted to be free.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's out there, freeing the world, living his life. Maybe he's stuck in his basement still playing Hearts of Iron, but he's not on Twitter. Not as KaiserBrad. He's gone. And it's bittersweet, you know? It's bittersweet.
I think it's better that way.
Definitely is, because, like, think about it. Like, where would he have gone from here, you know? Like, if he...
Only down.
Definitely, because once he turned 18, it wouldn't be okay anymore if he kept posting the same stuff he did. He's an adult now, you know?
I wouldn't say it was exactly okay.
I mean, either, but like it wouldn't be even excusable at all anymore. You know, like you couldn't tolerate it anymore, because then he would really be a pedophile. You know, he would really be the things that people were getting upset at him for. So I'm glad it ended the way it did. I think it ended before he turned to 17. So like 14, 15, and 16. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it has a bit of a happy ending.
It does have a happy... I mean, like, as far as I know, it's a happy ending, because, like, he was not kicked out of his house. He was not sent to jail. That's a lot of the rumors that were told, or whatever, when he disappeared from Twitter, because that's what people thought.
I remember. But I remember the rumors, because they were saying he went to prison for it and whatnot, and then we had some of those tweets to confirm he did it.
Yeah.
And not you. I remember also when they said... parents found my social media account or something like that. Y'all like all organized a thing to go mass report him to get so that they wouldn't see it and all that, right? Wasn't it something like that? Get it suspended? Was it you or was it everyone?
I think it was everyone. I don't think it was me necessarily, because like...
Yeah, but I specifically remember like some people were mass reporting to get like him suspended so that his parents wouldn't see it. But I specifically remember this incident for one reason, and this was when I started blocking people. because this is actually when I started blocking people, and this is where I started having my exceptions to blocks. Mm-hmm. And this is what it was. Some people were not in on the mass reporting and thought they were trying to just take him down and whatnot. So they started saying, like, I took KaiserBrad down and everything, posting, and it's like that. And I was like, oh, this is someone who mass reports and everything like that. Like, they weren't mass reporting for the reason of let's help him out. They were mass reporting for the reason of let's take him down. So I started blocking everyone that did that. I specifically remember that incident because for me it was
Yeah.
a bit of a game changer for what I started blocking for. I also block corporate accounts now.
I block corporate accounts all the time, because I don't want to see the promoted
so
tweets.
So you see my blocks, it's like 300 or 400, and it's only like 5-6 are people, and whatnot, and then there's like the rest are like corporate accounts. And then every once in a while I'll block like anyone I see that talks about reporting and whatnot, and I just block.
Better to keep them away from you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the KaiserBrad story, from unknown Coomer memer to household boogeyman to gone boogeyman to internet legend.
I think it is such a crazy tale when you think about it. It's like the dangers of.
I mean, it's the dangers. Yeah, it's the dangers of your parents not paying attention to what your kids get into. Because like, I had never been like, my parents would not have allowed any of that or whatever. Like, my parents paid attention to my life. You know, they made sure I wasn't on social media. Like, that's why I little known fact, I wasn't on social media and stuff really till like 2018, because like I did a Facebook when I was my normie Facebook, but like my parents kept me off of that kind of stuff because they were worried that I would be posting stuff that would ruin my life, or I would get groomed by people.
I never had what's it called? I never had a social media until I was in
2018. I was like, I had to be out of high school. Yeah, I was out of high school by 2 years. So like, yeah, I think I was like 20 years old when I made my first account. I had it like left over from high school because I tried it out in high school and I didn't understand Twitter at all. So I was like, never using this again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brad was one of my first friends that I made on Twitter. So.
I mean, I've been on like Reddit, not Reddit. Yeah, I've been on boards and whatnot. Just like
I was on Reddit for a little bit, but not really like personal. Like I was posting Call of Duty related stuff or whatever for zombies. So, like I was asking questions.
My time on Reddit is all you can see it all.
Oh, I deleted my Reddit account. I don't even remember what it was called, but I remember deleting it because
mine is the same as my YouTube.
I was mad about something with Reddit, like one of the many gay shit that Reddit does all the time. I got mad at, so I deleted my account in protest.
But I would be on a lot of random image boards and all that shit in 4chan, and so it's like that is like the closest I was on for social media. But that's not really social media, in my opinion. Yeah,
but like look at Brad and look at his sister. You know, it's like his sister turned into like, cause like his parents didn't know until she told them or whatever, like that she was trans. You know, that she was becoming a boy. You know, like they had no idea that was happening. They had no idea the Nazi stuff or any of the grooming stuff that Brad was getting involved into. You know, like
internet was like taken away from that house all at once, probably.
Probably, you know, I would hope. I mean, but it's just like the parents were not watching what their children were getting up to, and their children got into some really, really bad shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a little bit about the sister and whatnot, but not too much. I don't want to speak about.
I'm not going to speak about it too much because, you know, like she does, like, you know, like she's her own thing, you know, and like it's only really related to Brad with the elements of it, you know, and like I don't really want to dox his sister or anything, and like not that I know what his sister's name is or anything, but like you know, she's not that she's important only to the relevance of the story and as like the other side of what Brad could have been, you know, because like Brad could have been a lefty, you know, and like done all the stuff.
I think I heard like some similar stuff happen to them, but like on the opposite flipped in. But I don't know about like the actual like big stuff here. Probably not. But
yeah. It's just basically his parents. His parents weren't paying attention to what he was doing. His parents weren't paying attention to what their daughter was doing. So like, I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were working too often, or I don't know. That's just being a little bit charitable. But like, they clearly failed their children. You know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Brad? Want to say any kind of like speech for him or whatnot?
Well, just to eulogize him on Twitter, he was one of the He was one of my first follows, one of my first mutuals, one of my first friends, and I'm always gonna miss him. I'm always gonna miss him fucking up my timeline, even if it was the worst, most disgusting shit ever. It was fun, and that's one of the things that's missing from Twitter right now. And it's like a lot of the people that made it fun, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember, so after the 10th suspension of like some people, they said, I'm done, not making Twitter.
And not everybody could be like me and make 200 Twitter accounts.
Yeah. And I was really hoping for Elon to buy Twitter because I wanted to see if he would unsuspend every account.
Only one of my accounts got unsuspended, and then they resuspended it for ban evasion. I'm just like, bro.
You know, there's one thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, we could do any of your lingering questions you have.
So, about the Femboy and Grimmer GC, you said you didn't know fully what happened, and the reason for that was the accounts were banned, and when they get banned, you can't see their subscription.
Yeah, one thing
but you have like the login for like his old accounts, but they're suspended.
Yeah, so
in theory, if for whatever reason ownership changes on Twitter, maybe the lawsuit goes through and Elon has to buy Twitter or whatnot. If that happens, and he actually does unban like all those things and whatnot, we actually might get to see a part 2 of this video to talk about exactly what the fuck they were doing to KaiserBrad.
Yeah. Because right now, so, like I was about to say, something I didn't mention is that, so, since I was giving Brad all of his Twitter accounts or whatever, I would be the one making them. So, like, I would log into it at first, set up an ad, put on his profile picture, put in all the number and the email, and then I would log out of it as soon as he logged into it. I only logged back into these accounts once he's suspended because they were his accounts, so, like, I didn't want him to feel like I was reading in on him and, you know, stalking him, but maybe I should have been paying attention to what was going on with those GCs, you know, but, like, I let him have free reign over it because, you know, it was his, and I didn't want to be that overbearing or anything. We had a trusting relationship, and I guess, you know, he just realized that if I was involved in that, I would probably get rid of it or whatever, so he kept me out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about any of that stuff, like, at all.
It was... Yeah, I think it basically all ended just before I started memeing him or whatever. So, like, it was before he blew up, you know?
So, there's also, I noticed, for a while after KaiserBrad, there was somewhat still of a group with you and whatnot. Somewhat, not really nearly to the same extent. And I remember y'all going, like, really fucking hard on pedos and everything like that at the time. Like, ones that were after, like, actual children of age, like, they were of age and whatnot. So I was like, did that have anything to do with the fact that KaiserBrad and all that incident got brought to light, and that's why you were going hard, or what?
Probably not directly, but it was more just that we were all kind of just tired of that, you know?
On edge.
Yeah, because, like... Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a direct influence. It was probably just, it might have been, you know, secondary or indirect influence, you know? Because, like... Kind
of like an eye-opener.
Definitely an eye-opener. Because, like, yeah, there's real pedophiles on Twitter. Because, like, me and a different group have gone around and we've, you know, when we find it, we report it. Because, like, you know, sometimes real people just post random child pornography on random tweets. And it's just, what the fuck?
Yeah. And, what's it called? I remember seeing y'all talk about, like, report this account, this account, and this account. And I was like, that was like almost an arc for y'all right after KaiserBrad. And
yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
Yeah, for me, I was like, I was wondering if that had anything to do with.
Yeah, I would say maybe just a little bit, but I wouldn't say it was the direct cause of it. It was more just that we were just tired of it in general, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the thing. So is there anything else you want to add on to it?
Brad penis hard.
Always.
Even now, forever. Even now, it probably still is. I bet.
I miss a lot of conversations with everyone back then. I do.
The old days they're never coming back.
I don't miss
but I'm glad that they happened.
Yeah. I look back on almost all of it fondly. Not so much the screen share of that one.
Not that one website.
But yeah.
Everything else of it.
Everything else.
It's like the Silk Spectre's speech in The Watchmen or whatever, you know, like even as everything ages in time, even the grime starts shining on, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I know some of them didn't trust me a good amount because I remember it was like a call of like almost 8 people and everyone was showing their face and I was like, no.
Yeah, I was never involved in any of that. I kept I didn't go on Discord a lot. I kept to Twitter a lot because Discord is gay and it's run by furries. So
I knew what a lot of them actually looked like and whatnot. And I was like, fuck, no, I'm not a.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. You know, you guys can be, but I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. Well, I figured someone was probably gonna fucking record it or something like that, which. Screenshots did come out eventually.
Yeah,
of like people's faces when they're like, "Oh yeah, you this," and it's like, "Boom, here's your face." And it's like, "Oh yeah, well guess what? I also have yours." Boom. It's like, y'all are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
It's like this is exactly why I don't fucking reveal my face and like all that shit. It's like one of the reasons.
It's a smart reason not to. Can't trust everybody.
Yeah, once there's no one to fight, infight happens.
That's basically what that's the story of many groups. Unless you're true friends, you know. I have a group of true friends that's never happened to, and I'm glad that they still exist. Shout out to Normal Korean, Weeb, Fed, Cyber, the gang. You know.
Yeah.
Albie, all of them.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, they're the only ones that have still stuck by me. Like I still talk to a few people from Supremacists, but like not as close as we were or whatever. But they're still good friends of mine, you know. But like the other group, the one that was Casper was a part of, that he left or whatever. We've lost a few people, but I guess they really didn't matter after all because they weren't our real friends. Mm-hmm. But glad I have those guys.
Even the people that go and backstab you, at the very least, there was fun.
There was fun times. We may not be friends anymore, but I did have fun when we were friends. It's bittersweet, but yeah, you know, that's how the KaiserBrad story is too. You know, it's a fun time, but it ends bittersweet. You know, because he's gone. You know, and that's I guess there's one last thing I really want to say is that I both regret and I don't regret making KaiserBrad a meme because. In a way, you know, I gave Brad what he wanted because Brad always liked dopamine. He always liked the attention of it. So, you know, making him a meme and putting him under a spotlight was exactly what he wanted. But at the same time, it ended it, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the same year I memed him or whatever was the same... Yeah, 2020. So, like, he left the same year I memed him or whatever because that's when we filmed the Rapecast episode. So, doing that... It caused the end. I basically triggered Endgame and the final act of it.
And remember, all this stuff happened in like almost all this stuff happened in like the same year became a meme, and he did end up being the meme that everyone was saying while he was there.
Yeah, it worked. The experiment worked, you know.
Leave a legacy.
But that's why I also regret it because now I don't have Brad here anymore.
He left
the legacy, definitely.
Everyone was saying that to him. Leave a legacy.
He did.
And that's why, yeah.
You know.
He definitely did to the bitter
end. Which reminds me, I think for the bots that quote retweet Brad Penis Hard, I think the only people they're following is Joe Biden. Yeah, me and I think he goes by Kaza when he isn't going by IMH01 or whatever. We both thought that would be the funniest shit ever. Because like Biden just got elected too, so or was just about to take the election or whatever, you know.
I remember that was
the writing with Biden time, you know.
Yeah, writing with Biden.
That was all those memes, you know.
Yeah, I also remember there was like the idea on Twitter is if you don't follow like Trump or anyone on the right and you follow like Biden, you're like almost immune to suspensions.
That's why I'm riding with Biden.
That's literally why there was the writing of Biden memes with all of us. Was like, don't suspend us.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Sleepy Joe. Take a nap, Joe. Don't look at all these Nazis following your Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sad, but I'm happy. I'm sad it's over, but I'm happy that it happened. I'm both. Yeah. You know, I'm taking both. I'm taking the high horse and the low road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the KaiserBrad story. You got anything else? Because I think that's about it.
I don't think I have anything specific about KaiserBrad. If I think of something, I'll probably add it in.
Yeah, we can add it in post, of course.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right.
That's the full.
All right, I'm gonna hit stop.
KaiserBrad.
That's the full.
Unless you want to make an outro.
Well, what should we do? Well, I thought maybe like my the outro should be, maybe we should do on 3, Brad Penis Heart.
Alright.
1.
No. 1, 2, 3.
Brad Penis Hard.
Brad Penis Hard.
Brad Penis Hard. Brad Penis Hard. Ah! Brad Penis Hard. You had to do what?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Brad Penis Hard. Brad Penis Hard. Ah! Had to do one good one for you, Brad. 07.
You left a legacy.
Left a legacy.
At the end of the day, this tale could have ended much worse than it actually did. As far as I know, he's off the internet living a normal-ish life now, or at least no longer being KaiserBrad. Ultimately, this could be a bit of a lesson for those parents that let their kids have fully unrestricted access to the internet and not watching what they are doing. Some freedom is fine and all, but this family didn't have any kind of moderation. The fact that stuff was happening to both kids on both sides of the political spectrum is a bit insane to think about. But all in all, he is probably better off not being on the internet. I mostly just wanted to document something that I've had my eye on for about a year and a half of an interesting story. Almost everything about them aside from memes have been deleted. So this is just a full story of KaiserBrad. So let this be the full story of KaiserBrad who wanted to leave a legacy. And as always, I bid you adieu. Thanks for watching.
It's a board game, but I'm never bored, man.